Going back to our lead story, there's been yet another shooting in Mitchell's Plain, Cape Town. At least 4 people have been shot dead and 1 injured in Tafelsig. That follows a shooting in the Mitchell's Plain area of Beacon Valley on Thursday night in which 2 people died. Our reporter Ayesha Ismail is at the scene and joins us now. Ayesha, 4 people have lost their lives and 1 person is injured in yet another mass shooting. What can you tell us about what's happening at the scene at the moment?
Well, Hanley, a lot of the residents here in this area called Lost City are standing here behind a police cordon, and they're saying they're also trying to make sense of what took place here today. Now, as you correctly point out, on Thursday, there was also a shooting that took place in Beacon Valley, just a couple of kilometers away from here. That shooting took place at night, which involved the shooting of young children. In this incident, it took place in broad daylight just before midday. 5 people were shot, 4 people were shot dead, 1 person escaped, and he was also injured. And as you can see, Hanneli, the police are still on the scene. There are still bodies in the road. The forensic van is here to come and collect the bodies. Family members are standing around. Some of them are just still too distraught to talk to us about what exactly happened. But I'm now joined by the sister of one of the deceased. Blanche, you were telling me earlier your brother was sitting in this particular road when he was shot at. What happened?
I'm not sure what happened. All I know, we just heard shots. And we just shouted for the children to come inside. And then my brother-in-law ran up the road because everybody was running up the road. And then he came down to say my brother was lying there. So I went to go see, and then I saw that he was lying there in this people's yard where he was sitting. So that's all I know that happened.
And the other 3 people who were shot and killed, were they friends of your brother's?
Yeah, it was all neighbors. One was a close friend of his, and the one person, the older guy, he was the owner of where they were sitting, so he owns the property. And the other guy, I don't really know him, but he was also there, so there was, yeah.
Now, the first thing that people normally ask is, was this incident gang-related? As far as you know, what do you think was the motive of this attack?
I'm not sure what the motive was. All I know, my brother wasn't a gangster. So I can't say it was gang-related or it was this or it was that. I'm not going to assume. I don't know.
Now, we also just spoke to some people and they were saying that the perpetrators fled on foot. What have you heard?
I heard it was in a car, but we didn't see the car coming in the road or out of the road. So the car could have gone that way over the field, or they could have ran. You know, I don't know, because like I said, I didn't see, but I heard shots. And then when my brother-in-law ran up with everybody else, he came down to tell us that my brother's laying there. So that's all I know that happened.
The one person who escaped, but he was also shot at and he's injured. Do you know what his condition is? Was he taken to hospital?
Yeah, he was taken to hospital. I don't know what his condition is, but he was taken to hospital. So, yeah, I'm not sure what his condition is, unfortunately.
Now, this shooting just comes within, 48 hours of the previous shooting. Do you think that there should be more visible policing here?
I do think so. I don't live in this area anymore, but I do think that police or neighborhood watch or something needs to be more visible. But I mean, it was daylight, and you wouldn't expect something like this to happen in broad daylight. And there's a lot of children in this road, and that's why we got such a fright, because our children also plays in the road. So yeah, I think police visibility needs to be more in this area, especially in the area of Tafelsig, where a lot of these things happen daily, not just today. I mean, it happens all the time.
But is there a lot of gang violence and gang activity in this area?
Not really, not really. Maybe further down, but this road is it's a busy road, but it's more a party type of road where youngsters just sit and socialize and that type of thing. There's no real gangsterism going on in this road.
Blanche, thank you so much for your time. Handy, so that was the sister of one of the deceased, and her name is Blanche Henry. And as you heard, you know, she's saying they're also still trying to make sense of what the motive was behind the killing of these 4 people and the shooting of 5 people. And Handy, just as I came into the area, there are lots of children here, and they were actually telling me that they were playing in the street like they normally do, and they actually heard the shots being fired. And when they heard the shots being fired, they just all ran and scattered and ran inside their homes, which is quite sad that, you know, children are not, you know, they can't even play in peace outside their homes in some of these areas.
Ayesha, we understand this incident has just taken place. We do need to let police take time to make an accurate assessment of the scene and what could possibly have happened. But given that it's happened so shortly after the incident on Thursday and in such close proximity, can you tell us what police have said about the motive in that shooting so that we could, you know, it could possibly shed some light on shootings happening in the area?
Well, I did speak to the police earlier today, and they did not talk about the motive for the incident that happened in Beacon Valley. They also said they do not know what the motive behind this incident was, and just like the incident in Beacon Valley, no arrests have yet been made in that incident nor in this incident. And of course, as they normally say, they are investigating.
Well, thank you very much, Ayesha Ismail, coming to us from Mitchell's Plain. So